going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, Chase is going to teach you how to...
We are going to teach you how to drift, and it's an exciting one because we love drifting.
I love anything to do with cars, but drifting is an excitement I can't explain.
And we're going to teach you guys the fundamentals of drift so that, you know, a lot of people feel like a bit awkward and a bit shy to be doing this kind of stuff because they think they're going to mess up. So the fundamentals we're going to teach you guys, the stuff we're going to learn you, is going to help you not mess up and make you feel a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, that's the aim of this, is for all the beginner noobs out there that haven't and want to do this exciting experiment of drifting. That's what we're here for, because we can't physically get you in our cars and show you how to do it. We're just going to explain the fundamentals to you, and then from there on out we're going to see you at the track, hopefully.
And we're going to teach you guys all the simple basic things that you need to get going, like a 90-degree handbrake turn stop.
Handbrake to stop, yeah. Handbrake 90 to power over 180.
Handbrake to power over 360s.
Handbrake 180 to dead stop.
And even your handbrake into figure of eights, but the figure of eight will come first.
And last but not least, I think it's the easiest one on the list, it's just the power over slide.
There we go, and how to hold it and catch that thing without it getting away from you.
That's it. So let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into it.
Alright, so we're gonna do the basic handbrake from left to right.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give a little bit of a first gear pull off here. We're gonna then dump the clutch in, pull up the handbrake while at the same time turning the direction you want to turn, and then slightly countering to stop. While you're doing that, keeping your clutch in so that the car doesn't stall, and obviously just holding your handbrake to stay still. And just to do a simple one, don't need a lot of speed.
That was the handbrake 90.
Yes. Okay, so dipping the clutch, we are going to dip the clutch in. The car might have some wheel hop, don't mind that. As soon as we do that, we're going to hold the handbrake to its stop, slightly counter back. Don't forget to keep your clutch in.
And there you go.
Sorry, I did double dip it because of the hop, but that's pretty much it. So don't forget, clutch in, handbrake up, turn direction, a little bit of a jolt, handbrake up, counter into it a little. It's going to do a fast one to explain what the whole point of the handbrake 90 is. First to second. And that would be your 90. That we did have to stop all the momentum, so we did use foot brake within the handbrake and foot brake, which will come soon
in the next video.
But that's the basic necessity of what the handbrake turn is all about. That's what you'll be doing soon, folks.
That's your handbrake 90. Thank you, Sensei.
1, 2. We're just going to do the exact same thing. Drive in, give the car some motion, handbrake up whilst clutch in, and then when we're correcting, we're just going to pop the clutch back out and use the accelerator to move the car forward. So it should be as simple as that. Here we go. And that's it. Just drive the car out of the 90.
Nice.
Literally just pull it out. You just need to slightly correct the car, you know, whichever way you start giving the vehicle motion, you need to counter steer into it and just turn the car through it. Never be scared to turn the car through it. You don't want to overdo it that the car's nose turns the car. You want to be on top of the car to just catch the direction it's going. Colin McRae said it best: if in doubt, flat out. 1, 2. Next up on the list, we're going to be going straight. The exact same thing. We're going to get a bit more vigorous motion on the way in because we're going to whip the car into a 180 degree. So we're just going to spin the bump completely around. It's a good thing to play with and see how you feel comfortable with the car. So it's a lot more of an aggressive motion. Dip the clutch, handbrake up and kind of let go of the steering wheel to let the car do what it has to. It will correct itself. Here we go. So vigorous motion. Even let the car sit on the way in. The faster you go, the easier this becomes, but as you can see, not that much counter steer like the power over. It's literally to just whip the car and let the weight on the rear do what it has to. So as we go, we accelerate a bit quicker, vigorous motion, handbrake up, hold the car in, and then we stop 180. Literally didn't have to counter back or anything. We're just using the back of the weight of the car to turn the car. And the faster you go, the easier this becomes. As I'll show you, we'll give a bit of a quicker one here. Vigorous motion. Can almost go backwards. We're going to use the cone there as our motivation point to do the 180 right now. So what we'll do is we're going to use our nose to go dip towards that cone, and we're going to just try stop with our nose on the opposite end of it. So vigorous motion, and that's it, to the cone, pointing straight back at the cone where we began. So that one had a little bit of counter in it with the weight shift, but you come in at more of an angle to make that possible. It's as simple as aggressive turn in, dipping the clutch, handbrake up, and just really chucking the weight. It's something you can play with aggression with. You don't have to worry and think, well, in a big open space, you don't have to worry about bumping stuff. It's just all about aggression and commitment. Always be committed.
1, 2.
We're going to get into the 180 power over. We're going to do the exact same thing as before. We're going to whip the car around, and when the bum is almost at its point of loss and no return, we're going to accelerate and clutch bump out of it. We're going to do the 180. We're going to drive in fast, aggressive turn, clutch in, handbrake up, dump the clutch after the correction, and catch it going forward.
How do you know when to correct, sir?
It's at the point of where the bum feels like it's going to be its total loss. It's a balance act in that. So as the bum feels like it's getting to the point of no return, you're going to dump the clutch and be on the counter. So you kind of let the steering wheel do what it wants to until it's at that point where it feels like it's almost gone, and that's when you dump the clutch out and drive through it. Like with that saying we're talking about, if in doubt, flat out, you have to drive through the feeling where it doesn't feel comfortable.
How do we know how to counter steer, when to counter steer?
It's all on the weight shift. It's a balance act of when the bum feels like it's all the way past, you could almost call it its point of no return. It has to be right before. It's a feeling act in the car. You have to become one with your mighty steed. So it's a balance act and a feeling act of when the car feels like it's not going to return. That's when you have to be already playing with the wheel to be catching that bum, catching that feeling.
We know what to do, right? We clutch in, handbrake up, handbrake down, clutch out, accelerate. We're going to do that with the 90. Just like that.
And drive it out.
And
Just
drive.
like that.
You don't even need to accelerate it hard out. You just got to ride it out.
Let's put it this way. This is like a little bit of a free session. It's going to be putting a couple of the things all together. The handbrake turn, the 180 into power over with the handbrake turn, and possibly a couple of 360s, which we aren't at yet, but we're going to get there.
2.
360 simple. The cone's there. Why is the cone so far away? I'm giving it enough space for my nose to the cone so that my nose can be close to the cone as possible. And just like that, that was a 720, or I don't know what it was, but
Many donuts.
that's what it is.
1, 2.
That's what it is. Also, one fundamental thing that we forgot to teach you was a 180 from standstill. So 180 from standstill, you can either do a standstill or you can get it rolling. Rolling lets the bum fly a little bit better. So, and that's it. You just give it a rev, drop the clutch, and that's your 180. We'll do it again one last time just so you can see. There's the cone over there. We're rolling very slow. Clutch in, rev, and then you just feel it. You just basically feel it.
1, 2.
Now's the fun one. The figure of 8. Approach the cone, clutch in, handbrake. Figure 8 without handbrake. So I'm going to initiate with handbrake, and I'm not going to do handbrake for a 360 for a figure 8, and then I'm going to also demonstrate how the handbrake works. Closer to the cone with the handbrake.
Yes, it's that little bit of like safety control.
Yeah, but it's a lot for a beginner to think about.
Yes.
Doing handbraking, clutch and this and that.
That's it.
So we want to try to teach you the fundamentals without using this thing over here, and you're just basically using the power to throw the car where you want it. And then if you're going a little bit fast, you just touch the brakes, trim the speed down a bit, and off you go.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Sensei.
What we'll do is now we're going to use all of it combined together into the figure of 8.
Yeah.
So exactly like that 360, but with the figure of 8 is how we transfer the weight. We're going to accelerate in like we did the 180, and then we're going to power out of it into a figure of 8. So it's again as basic as accelerating down, using the momentum of the car in, clutch in, handbrake up, handbrake back down, bounce the clutch out, a little bit of a drag race pull out to keep the wheel spinning, and then turn through its 360 from there. And then the same turn. It's all the balance of clutch work. You're taking your clutch in. And that's how we go into everything. It's the balance of staying on top of the wheel and your clutch working, your accelerator. It's a physical balance of everything going all at the same time. You just have to stay on top of it all. You have to know when to put more accelerator in. Say now you feel like there's too much angle, you have to use a little bit less accelerator. If you feel like you're not getting enough angle, a little bit of a clutch kick and more accelerator. It's all about the balance on the wheel. So if we're going to turn in from here, turn the wheel in, dump it. And you've got a clutch kick it again, get the weight going, turn it in, and dump it again. Your weight over the front, and dump it again. And that's all it is. It's a balancing act, and guys, it's a feeling. You have to constantly be driving to get more seat time into knowing what your car feels like. So it's been aggressive enough turning the wheel, and as you can hear that whom, it's the balance of both. You're using that accelerator to break the traction, and then you can let off from there. Again, the less you use your accelerator, the more tight in the car is going to turn. The more you use it, the wider your line be. So now we'll go less. And then we'll go. So as a visual representation, you can see exactly what I'm saying there. It's all about the balance and what your accelerator does. It can either make you travel wider using an open throttle. Think of it as open being wider and lesser being tighter. And that's what the balance of drift is.
Okay, so once you're done here, Chase is going to take you around all the cones and show you how you will mangy in the next episode.
Well, let's do it. And use the button.
So we have reached the end of our journey.
We came, we saw, we got tires in the eyes, they're burning just for you.
And you guys have conquered. You guys are going to do awesome skids. You're going to upload them to the tube of you.
And please take your grandmother and your parents for a ride when you learn your new skill set and send us the video of how they react.
Don't forget, safety first, put your belts on.
Make sure Granny's strapped in but terrified.
If there's anything that you guys are confused about, you know, you can always hit us up in the comments below, or you can find Mr. Ruthless66_ZA or myself, the JDM Fanatic, on Instagram. Drop us a DM. We'll be glad to help you guys. You know, if you guys are local or close by, you know, we can even get a little bit more personal on the phone.
And we have no problem diving deeper. Even if your comments are, you guys are cuck. Cool, explain why and we'll tell you why we are a bit less cuck than what you think.
100%. Those of you guys with automatic cars that want to learn how to do this, it's the same effect of the power over sliding stuff. It's just, you know, it gets a bit tricky because the handbrake in autos don't work the way they do in manuals.
I would say do it more in the rain. Wait for a rainy day and then chance it that way.
But if you need help, you know, we're always willing, if you want to offer your cars to us, to teach you how to do it in automatic. Like we were explaining in the video, it is all a feeling. Once you got the feeling, you got the knack. It's just about what level you want to take it to.
And seat time is the answer to every question you have. Just know the more you drive, the easier it all becomes. It becomes like breathing.
Yeah, that is true. I started driving a little while ago with him, and the more I drive with him, the better it gets.
Phenomenal for the time it's been. Yes, I can't keep singing the praises, Uncle. I think, yes,
Anyways.
I haven't seen someone progress like this, Uncle.
Anyways, he's just saying things now. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.
The microphone murderer, mass mayhem maker. VFG is on the mic, call the Undertaker. Make an appointment and schedule an interview. Because you know what big man's about to do.